Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
Okay, first of all, don't forget to subscribe. It does help us grow. Yep. Sports for you. This is the channel for you. Get from the beginning, right? Be part of all our sports coming up in the year, covering everything, right?
Everything.
This is the origins of the greatest soccer rivalry in North America. Timbers versus Sounders.
It's Portland, isn't it, versus Seattle?
Portland Timbers versus Seattle Sounders. Yeah, I don't really know much about MLS. I know a little bit, but not a great deal. I'm too consumed with the English Premier League and the Champions League and everything that goes on in Europe. So sort of like when that league's in play, I find it very difficult to watch many sports because it just consumes us. But yeah, this is few people have asked for this. The greatest soccer rivalry in North America.
I wouldn't have guessed it's these two teams personally.
No, you're probably right. I know the Seattle Sounders do have a very hardcore fan base. I've heard that before. Sort of thing. Don't know who plays there. Don't know who plays for Portland Timbers neither. Don't know who the star players are. Don't know much about. I probably will know players from there. Don't know moved around the MLS or moved around different leagues around the world. But let's get into it anyway. Yeah. Origins of the greatest soccer rivalry in North America. But the other side of it as well with North American soccer team, I thought some of the Mexicans might have a big rivalry.
Yeah, for sure.
But
there's no way that the Mexicans' rivalry isn't bigger.
Well, that's what it says here. The greatest soccer rivalry in North America. Yeah. So let's see.
It's bar none the greatest soccer rivalry in North America.
Fights, fouls, all the chirping, all the goals.
The intensity, the environment.
Sandwiches thrown under our bus as we're driving up the stadium. Finger gesture, all that sort of stuff.
It's bragging rights. It's rights between which is the best city.
Who are going to be your players that step up for those games?
I hate losing to Portland, and that's just the reality of things.
Just beat Seattle, and that's the only beat them.
Love a good rivalry, man.
I would say in the history of Seattle, it's kind of counterculture. The city has gone through enormous changes from when I grew up here, but we always felt like we had something to prove.
It's considered very laid back, very polite, but soccer can bring out the passion in you.
Portland obviously is not a big city. It almost feels like a town sometimes.
A community where everybody is connected.
There's a sense that because of the idea of keeping Portland weird, that maybe there's some counterculture element to it. But I also think that this is a town that's very passionate about its sports, and there's not a lot of professional sports here. So you have a lot of fans of the Timbers.
We have the Timbers Army, and I think everything in the country fails by comparison.
The fans, just as much as the players, hate losing to Portland.
We hate them, they hate us, and we like it that way.
It's a battle in the field, and there's a battle in the stands and in the stadiums.
We're at a state in the league where there's a lot of rivalries brewing, but the Timbers Sounders has one thing that nothing else has. It's history.
Oh, the Sounders playing it, making it, playing the game to win.
It started in the 70s.
The Timbers faced the Sounders here in Portland back in 1975 in the quarterfinals of the NASL playoffs.
30,000 plus here at Multnomah Stadium tonight to see the Sounders play the Portland Timbers.
Tony Betts scored on the header in extra time to send the Timbers on.
Chips it across in front, there's the shot!
It's not one of those rivalries you see with LAFC or LA Galaxy where this is a 2-year-old rivalry.
As I was a kid, we'd go to the games, we're like, yeah, we gotta beat Portland, we gotta be the best in the Northwest, and it was the same thing with Vancouver up north.
We're 3 different cities, 2 different countries that have similarities, but we definitely have a pretty deep rivalry.
The Cascadia Cup, which is owned by the fans and supporters, is the trophy we fight for when we play between Portland, Vancouver, and Seattle.
Yeah, sometimes people forget
They
about
made
Vancouver,
their own
but they're a
trophy.
proud franchise.
Yeah, but when you go back to 1975, they used to have the Timbers and Sounders around in the early 70s were saying so was Vancouver Whitecaps. So Vancouver Whitecaps used to attract some of the best players in the world. Although they were coming to the end of their career, my friend, he played for the New York Cosmos, and he was bought to replace Pele.
Really?
True story. You know Dennis,
right? Yeah.
Google Dennis Stewart. He got bought to replace Pele for the New York Cosmos.
Really?
Yeah. Can't remember who went to the Vancouver Whitecaps. They had some big names. I'll have to go back and in memory somewhere, but people might tell us as well. People who, if you can Google it or if you remember. But Vancouver Whitecaps were big in the day.
Yeah, they had Alphonso Davies, didn't they?
Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yeah, that's who Bayern Munich signed him from.
Yeah, correct. But I'm talking about in the day. Back in the day, they had some big names who used to go over, and some of them might have been English footballers that sort of towards the end of the career went over.
Oh, really?
I don't think Dennis went there. Dennis played for the New York Cosmos for sure. So, and also, like I say, he was bought to replace Pele. He tells that story all the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they've had good teams throughout the years.
I'm gonna say that Vancouver is the king of Cascadia. If we're going by Cascadia Cups, Vancouver's definitely leading that.
There's other rivalries that have trophies throughout the league. I get it, but we bring the Cascadia Cup up here.
There's just a fierce rivalry up and down the I-5 corridor.
What's it with Leeds?
And when you start to look at the personalities involved as far as who are the villains and who are the heroes, that gives the rivalry even more intensity.
I just don't like Clint Dempsey.
Dempsey has been given a red card as well, has he?
Chara, always competing and fighting and getting little kicks in.
Ozzie Alonso was more a villain for me.
Will Johnson, just the way he played, it seemed dirty.
Roger Levesque.
Roger Levesque's got to be Roger Levesque.
Yeah, Roger Levesque.
Going back to the goals he scored here, but particularly that 2009 US Open Cup game where he scores 48 seconds in.
He made a great run into the near post, beat the goalkeeper, and Nate Jaquith comes and he chops him down in Timber Stadium.
One of my fondest moments.
It's the most iconic image for Seattle Sounders fans, and it was on their pitch. So that's what made it even sweeter.
The Roger Levesque celebration, I think that's something I won't speak about.
But after that, interestingly, it's not players. Caleb Porter, the coach that whines constantly with the most punchable face in the history of the MLS.
I think it really annoyed us that he's the coach that got him the MLS Cup. I think there was a lot of jealousy from Sounders fans that it was like, in some ways, for all that we've done, they have the one thing that we've always wanted.
It's a good stat to have won a championship before them.
And Diego Valeri is handed a gift.
I wanted them to fail big time.
Still the only club in Cascadia to win MLS Cup where we actually scored a goal during the run of play. Had a shot on goal even.
It's a first for the Timbers. A first for the Pacific Northwest. The Portland Timbers win MLS Cup 2015.
It's sad that it's going to be so many years before.
Is MLS Cup like you win like the whole league, or is that like a side cup in the league?
I did see a result or a game that was coming up, and he said it's in the MLS Cup or it's in the cup competition or something. But I would think if you win the MLS, you think is that
because when you win the MLS, you go to like a playoffs, don't you?
Yeah, so it'd have to be the MLS Cup, wouldn't it? I guess
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, they both play in green as well, don't they?
Yeah.
They'll realize that again.
They have a rivalry in the same colour.
First, so that's something that we will always hang our hat on. And
like United and Norwich.
We were surprised when Seattle followed.
When the Timbers won the year before, they had something they could hold over us. It gave us motivation. I didn't want to be sidelined, hoping for the opponent to prevent our rivals from lifting a trophy.
Now the cross out to
Toronto.
The footwork, the save, the moment, everything.
I think they showed the save behind me on the big
save.
screen. The whole stadium did a little. So I figured I did something right.
against Stephen Fry. Off the bar, and Seattle now a kick away from winning it. Seattle Sounders have done it. MLS Cup winners in 2016.
Was I rooting for them versus Toronto in 2016? No, I wasn't. But you know, it was a tough game to watch, to be honest.
We don't want them to succeed in what they're doing. They are not supposed to win.
It felt great to take it away from them, and obviously for us to lift our first one. For us now, it's time to try and win another one and hold that over them.
Clint said it best in the trophy celebration.
All I gotta say is now that we won one, Portland can't say shit.
My favorite moments probably are the ones that we eliminated them in playoff.
A win for your team is always going to be a really special thing. A win against the team that you absolutely hate, it's just like 1,000 times better.
2018 playoff series with Seattle, it's something that I'd be surprised if they answered this question.
Yeah, 2018 playoffs.
Blanco! He's done it! Sebastian Blanco for Portland!
The second leg of the 2018 series might be the best playoff game I've seen in Major League Soccer since 2011.
It is not by accident that this team had Roger Levesque lead the players out.
Every Timbers win against Seattle is a favorite memory, but for me it was probably the Blanco goal.
It was special. I can feel the silence in all the stadium.
It just was unrelenting.
We deserve to win, but Portland is a very sneaky team.
Some of the Portland players think they've won. They're celebrating right now. Look at Valentine telling Blanco, no. We go to a shootout.
When you eliminate your rival in his house, it's priceless.
I was a little sore after that game.
It could not be a more perfect night here in the Pacific Northwest.
There's always the next game against Seattle.
He's going to shoot. It's off the bar. Fernandez scores on the rebound. You can see a Kimke. He knocks it away. Valerian Blanco both wide open. Torres being
What's that?
back.
I don't know, but that's what you got to do.
Oh, here we go. As
Getting sent
nasty
off.
and ill-tempered as you would have hoped.
I'm not sure if you can overhype this rivalry. The passion you see from the fans on both sides is incredible.
You see the fight that the players give in every single game, but like it feels like when they play Seattle, they're warriors.
Do you think that normal games are loud and rowdy? It's a whole nother level.
When people talk about MLS, Seattle-Portland rivalry is always mentioned.
It's gone through some transformations, but the root of it is, it's still city against city, club against club. That will always be there.
To me, the rivalry is most fun when both teams are really good and you're competing in the playoffs, and hopefully that's a level we can sustain and have many more great playoff games in Seattle and where we continue to beat them.
You enjoy the highs and you hate the lows, and hopefully we have more highs than lows.
I think the next game against Seattle is always going to be the biggest.
What someone's going to have to let me know on that is that what I don't get is, would they never be able to play in the MLS Cup against each other? Or did they play in there against each other in the MLS Cup? So he said we won it first and then they won it second.
Yeah, they
Something
played
like that.
against each other in the semi-finals.
That's what I'm saying, in the semi-final. So because they're in the same league, will they never be able to meet in the MLS Cup? Will that be like East against West, or
I see.
do you know what I mean?
I guess not. Then you're right.
So I'm not sure how that works. Let us know how the playoff situation works. Could they ever play in the MLS Cup against
like
each
the
other?
final.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not actually too sure.
Not in the semis, but actually in the final.
Yeah, in the
to
final.
lift the trophy.
Yeah.
It definitely looks a great rivalry.
It does.
Some decent sized crowds there as well.
Yeah, yeah,
You know? And good atmosphere, chanting away.
You said about Seattle, didn't you?
Yeah. But who's in Seattle now for they've got the Seattle Seahawks. They've got no basketball team, have they?
They've got no ice hockey team, have they?
And they've got
an
MLB,
they've
haven't
got the
they?
Mariners.
Got baseball team, haven't they? And then the soccer team. And Portland have got the Timberwolves.
Nah, they've got the Trailblazers.
Trailblazers.
Yeah.
It's the Timbers there that put me off. Trailblazers and
that's all I know.
Portland.
I think that's it,
They've
right?
got to have a baseball team, haven't they? Portland. I don't think they have they?
They might do.
The only one I can think of now is with a P is the Pirates. Portland. I bet they've got an ice hockey team, Portland.
Portland. It just comes up with clubs and teams like Thorns, Pickles. I guess they're like small like minor league or something.
Yeah. Don't know. Portland Trailblazers, isn't it? I thought they had an MLB team.
Yeah. They've got 3 major league sports teams, which is the Trailblazers, the Timbers, and the Thorns, which is a women's soccer team.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I can see why there's a big crowd
for
trying to go. For soccer, go much soccer over there. But it's like I say, soccer's getting bigger when you go and look at some of these. I think it's
been going since 1970s.
Oh, like I said, they had Pele playing over there for the New York Cosmos. So there's a lot of teams that sort of like attracted some people. I think it might have been Bobby Moore that went to the Vancouver Whitecaps. Really? Someone like that, yeah. But it was there was some big names that went over there in the 70s, trying to sort of like kickstart it. There's been talks of it for a long time to sort of like try and come up as a great league, but it's never really happened. And I think now they're probably getting closer than they've ever been. I think some people might be losing, like, I wouldn't say losing interest, but losing a lot of, like, what's the word, trust in things like the NBA or things like that.
It's just run differently, though, isn't it? Football
especially with Messi there now as well. Messi sort of like bringing it in.
Yeah, true.
You never know. But let's see. Anyway, but yeah, good rivalry. Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.